Hey everybody, welcome back to Imperfectly Christian. So as I stated before, Imperfectly Christian is just a forum for us to discuss all the various topics that occur in our daily lives or in particular seasons. So this week we're going to discuss singleness. Yes, being single. I thought it was fitting for the approaching season. We're approaching the holidays and things like that. And it's tough for men and women that are single, and the holiday seasons are coming and the cold weather and the snow and all those other good things. So being single while you're a Christian is very challenging. Let's be clear, okay? Because the game is so different and the rules are so very different. You can't necessarily do the same thing when you're Christian dating versus when you're carnal dating. I hope that makes sense. If not, just send me an email, let me know. But your season of singleness really allows you to work on yourself. It allows you to gather yourself and get yourself together for marriage. It allows you to work on yourself mentally, emotionally, financially, and all those other things. And it allows you to be what you want. Meaning, what you want in a mate, being single, allows you to gain those characteristics, work on those areas, whatever the case may be. For example, if you want someone that already owns their home, then maybe you should be in a position, not to necessarily say that you have to already own your home, but you should be in a position to where you can do that. So that way when your husband does come along, maybe you guys can purchase a bigger home together, or he can sell his home, or you can sell your home, or whatever the case may be. Likewise, you should also make sure that you take this season of singleness to remove any emotional or mental baggage that you have from previous relationships or your childhood or whatever the case may be. Yes, we all enjoy a challenge, I would like to think. But at this stage of the game and this age, I'm in my 30s, I don't want a man to come along that's a project, okay? I understand that we all have bits and pieces of our lives that are not quite all together. I get that, right? We're not perfect creatures. However, I don't want someone to come along that still has unfinished business from a previous relationship, or he's still dealing with challenges from when he was a child or from his previous marriage. I don't want that. Not in this day and time in my life and where I am. But again, being single allows you to really, really be able to work on yourself to be the best that you can be when your husband does come along, or for your wife, for that matter, for my gentleman that may be watching tonight. But I challenge you with this. Ask yourself, why am I single? And you have to be really, really honest with yourself about why you're single. I mean, only you know that. Only you know the deep, dark, intimate areas where you really, really need the grace of God to reign in your life and to really help make you whole, to be prepared for dating and, of course, ultimately marriage. So you need to ask yourself that. But while being single, I will say you can't go at it alone. In order to be single and Christian, you really need the support of your friends and your family that's rooting for you. They're your cheerleaders. They want you to really spend time on yourself and not rushing marriage, because, of course, we know that marriage is not a joke. And belong to a church that has events and workshops and things like that for single people, so that way you're supported in it from your church family. It's not simple to go at it alone. But again, what's your reason for being single? Do you have any challenges that you need to work on during the season of singleness? Because let's be clear, if you are a person that has challenges that you need to improve on, and then your soon-to-be spouse has challenges that you need to improve on, you guys just become one big ball of mess. Let's just be very, very clear about that. And I'm not a married person. I am single. So I would just suggest to seek God in everything that you're doing, and to ask him for a sensitive spirit, a spirit of discernment, to allow you to be able to really choose who he has for you, and allow him to be able to really guide you in the right direction with the mate that he may have for you. I also want to point out that being single does not mean that you're lonely. There's a difference. And if you are dating from a place of loneliness, in my opinion, in my experience, you're a bit more prone to pick a mate that's not necessarily what you need in order to get to the next dimension that God has for you. So when you're dating from a place of wholeness, and we'll talk about dating probably next week, but when you're single and you're whole, it's a whole different ball game from when you're single and you're alone, or you're single and you're lonely. It's a very big difference. In my seasons of singleness, I have not been lonely. I've done things that kept myself busy. I've also done things that made sure that I kept myself involved with other people that were Christians and that were facing the same season that I was, a season of singleness while being Christian. So make sure that you get yourself into some hobbies or into some clubs or switch up your routine a little bit. Just get yourself in a position where you're able to mix and mingle with like-minded people, whether they be single, whether it be someone that you're interested in dating. And again, make sure you're dating for marriage. If you're not thinking about getting married, or if you're not yet in a position to be married, just don't date. Don't date, especially being a Christian. So also make sure you have requirements available for whoever that you're thinking about dating or potentially marrying, whatever the case may be. If you have to have those things written down, write them down. I will say, though, that sometimes, especially for us ladies, we don't always know what we do want, but we do always know what we don't want. So if you don't quite know yet what you do want, start from the list of the things that you know that you absolutely don't want. If you know that you don't want someone that smokes or drinks or goes to the club, or they don't take care of their children from a previous relationship, some of those things should obviously already be a given, but just for the sake of it, write those things down to make sure that when someone does come along and you're excited because, oh my God, somebody finally came along and maybe this season of singleness is over and I've been waiting for this moment, you're able to go back to that very tangible list, step out of your feelings, step out of your emotions, and go back to your list and say, yeah, no, these are the things that I said I absolutely, positively did not want in a mate. So that's a good starting point to maybe start from the things that you know you absolutely, positively do not want, and then move on to the things that you know that you do want. So again, just to reiterate, make sure that you follow God in everything that you do. Make sure that you also do a self-inspection. Check yourself. Why is it that you're single? What's going on with you? Because we do know that acquisition is easier than maintenance, meaning you can get a man, you can get a woman, but can you keep them? What is it about you that can't keep somebody around? What is it about you? It's one thing, ladies, to be confident. It's one thing to be able to hold your own in any given situation, but it's a whole nother thing to be nasty and to be mean and to not be meek and mild and ladylike. No man wants that. A man wants to know that he's able to be just that, to be a man. So that is it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys next week.